submissiveness, obedience, submissiveness, your tajawu, to completely, dedicate yourself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah want to see it for that particular period of time, and you complied. Don't cut your fingernail when you are in Ihram. It is lawful to do that, but you complied. Don't cover your head when you are with Ihram, and you not anything to cover your head for the meals, and you complied. Many things Allah said don't do during that state. They are not things that ordinarily they are, muharramat, prohibitions. But they are things that allowed you to train the soul, to prepare you for a very, very big responsibility after Hajj. That is the essence. Immediately after that period, you are given the liberty to go back. And then when you come back, what do? Those period of endurance, perseverance that you experience within those particular time, we can also replicate them when we come back to our community here. And then try to replicate that ummah that we built during Hajj in our own community here. That ummah that you enjoy interacting with people, you enjoy that period so much so that you wish that is how you live the rest of your life. And because we must go back to our respective countries and families, the urge to go back home was always there. Otherwise, we love that state. You pay easily, you do your ibadah easily, everything is so easy for you. That period where I said, don't do this, don't do that, is to test your level of steadfastness, your athabat. Coming back to Nigeria here, how are we responding to the challenges we have in our countries, in our states, in our local governments, within the Muslim Ummah? To what extent are we able to manifest or exhibit those good qualities, those good characters that we showed during Hajj? Being your brother's keeper, helping your brother, even looking after the property of your brother, even in their absence. Even when somebody even offended you, naturally, you don't feel anything in your heart against the person. You even move closer to the person and talk to the person. I like yes, if the person talks really hard, you still take it with all sense of equanimity. You don't feel anything against the person because you believe that you are in front of Allah, you are in the house of Allah. So things must be done. That same picture, if they are to show the picture to us, video, Hajj Abdullah before Hajj, Hajj Abdullah during Hajj, Hajj Abdullah after Hajj, you will not like what you see. Because you see yourself in a different personalities at different times. And they ask you, which one are you going to choose? You choose Hajj Abdullah during Hajj. Because there, you try as much as possible to do what to move closer to Allah. Because everything you are doing, for the sake of Allah, you are doing it. Finally, one of the messages and benefits of Hajj that we have participated in, we have seen it over there. When we come back to our respective country, we are supposed to continue with it. Is the unity of the Ummah, the brotherhood of Islam. You see people from different countries. If you think you are the tallest, you will see the person who is taller than you when you go on Hajj. If you think you are the shortest person and they are telling you, when you go on Hajj, you will see more another Papa to and you think you are the most obese. When you go there, you see people that are even the obesity themselves. And you see people who are very slim, but their bone is very, very strong. They can show somebody who is very, very big. You look at them with the higher content, try them, you know the shaku by the Muawa. Allah is showing the varieties of the Muslim community. And you see people as if they have known themselves before, the way they relate. Ya Hajj, Fata, Ya Hajj. Telling you after me. That is the highest peak of brotherhood. And Ithar, giving preference to others. Oh yeah, Fata, telling you, oh, you first. Here, it is me first for you. When you have come back on Hajj, that brotherhood must be sustained. People in our neighborhood should know that somebody has gone to Hajj in this neighborhood, not just by mere decoration, but by the person's attitude, by the person's character. The man will not know him to be working for the progress of the community, but now he is the one championing it. He is the one trying to reconcile people, he is the one trying to bring people together. It is the effect of the Hajj, the unity of the Ummah. It's very, very germane. That is why Allah mentioned to us in the Quran, Quran chapter 49 verse 10, the believers, they are brothers to one another. In Quran chapter 60 verse 4, Allah explained to us that He, Allah, loves those who hold themselves together. Allah says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you believe. That is in Surah I think so, should be Surah Al-Mumtahana. Allah says, إن الله يحب الذين يقاتلون في سبيله صفا كأنه بنيان مرصوص. Surah chapter 60 verse 4. Allah loves those who strive as a group in His cause, like a cemented block. We all did this when we went on Hajj. We saw people, we saw Muslims. Even though Hajj is a mini picture of how Yawm al-Qiyamah will look like. It gives us a picture, a reminder of how Yawm al-Qiyamah will look like. People will be in white. They will be in white. No distinction between a leader and a follower. Between the president and a led. No distinction. We are all the same. Moving towards the same direction. Allah says He loves those who walk like that, like a cemented block. And this analogy is very, very great. I used to tell people, you look at this wall we are seeing like this. You like the wall, it's very beautiful, it's okay. There is a block under this soil that you can't see again, it has been buried. You can't see it, and we don't appreciate it. We can't see even the blocks in the middle or even the one on top because they have been plastered and painted. We can only see the outward color and the design that we are appreciating. Then the block buried under the soil, without it, the wall cannot stand. The one that we are appreciating will not even be there. That is the similitude of the Muslims. Some are the ones working behind that we cannot even see them. Without them working, we can't sit here to be doing what we are doing here. That means we must work as one. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to qualify the Ummah, in Surah Al-Anbiya, Quran chapter 21, verse 92, He told us, وَإِنَّ هَذِهِ أُمَّتُكُمْ أُمَّةً وَاحِدًا وَأَنَا رَبُّكُمْ فَاعْبُدُونِ. This community of yours is one. Therefore, me, Allah, should be the object of your worship. Worship me alone. In Quran chapter 23, verse 52, Allah repeated the same verse. وَإِنَّ هَذِهِ أُمَّتُكُمْ أُمَّةً وَاحِدًا وَأَنَا رَبُّكُمْ فَاتَّقُونِ. Which is the central theme of all the pillars of Islam. This community of yours is one. Therefore, I, Allah, should be the focus of your attention. Fear me, Allah, alone. Little wonder, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he wanted to describe us, he said, مَثَلُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ فِي تَوَدِّئِهِمْ وَتَعَاطُفِهِمْ وَتَرَاحُمِهِمْ كَمَثَلِ الْجَسَدِ الْوَاحِدِ إِذَا اشْتَقَّ مِنْهُ عُضْوٌ. Converge there under one banner. to say one thing at the same time, at the same place, because our Qibla is one, our Quran is one, our Allah is one, our Prophet is one. So we must feel it. We must begin to promote this right from our own family. If you have initially severe tie of families, when you are coming back, to spur you to make sure that you are the advocate of bringing the families together. Let them know that it's the hand that has affected positively. Bring them together. Bring friends together in your neighborhood. Bring Muslim organizations together in your neighborhood. Let us work as one so that we'll be better off. And Allah cautioned us. When He told us, He says, وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلِيَاءُ بَعْضٍ إِلَّا تَفْعَلُوهُ تَكُنْ فِتْنَةٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَفَسَادٌ كَبِيرٌ. He said, the unbelievers, they are like a protector one another to one another. They are friends to one another. If you, Allah gave us a condition, إِلَّا تَفْعَلُوهُ, if you don't do like that, who are you? You the Ummah, you the Muslims. If you don't do like that, if you are not friends with one another, if you are not protectors of one another, if you do not collaborate with one another, you don't synergize with one another, be expecting fitna, trials of different dimensions. The one you can think of, the one you cannot think of, but anyway, we are eating it in Lagos State here. Yes, we are eating it here in Lagos. We all know those challenges we are facing in Lagos here. Policy of the fact that Muslims are going different. Each one is rejoicing based on what they are doing in their own corner. So we don't care what happens. The chairman said, or the Amir said, I should run down. It is on that note I will bring this hadith of the Prophet that says, Man asbaha wa man lam ya'tammu bi amri muslimina falaysa minhum. Whoever is fortunate, this is what the Prophet said, it is in the book of Bukhari. So the reason, whoever wakes up in a day that you have done today, you are sound, and you don't feel any iota of feeling in your heart about the affairs of your fellow Muslim brothers and sisters elsewhere in your heart, you don't feel it, you are not bothered, you are not disturbed, but there's something. Is not one of them. That is what one scholar said. He said, Come fina wa laysa minna wa kam laysa minna fina. Mélòó ni ẹni tí a rò pé wọ́n fojú jọ wá pé ara wa ni wọ́n ṣe ṣùgbọ́n wọn kì í ṣara wa tó bá dé lóbi nàìjíríà mọ̀ wọ́n máa tó sáfó wọn lágbádá yẹn ẹni kó bọ́ sí sáàdì rẹ̀ yẹn lágbádá bọ́ sí sáàdì bá wọ́n ṣá àwọn tó jẹ́ ara wa àwọn lè ara wa ni wọ́n. Lágbádá àárín ìhun wá sí joint Muslim Usrah ó kàn wá níbi sara ẹ̀yọ ẹ̀dùn gbogbo báyìí. Àwọn tí ẹ̀ rí rárá tí wọ́n ti ẹ̀ wá tẹ́ rí ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n gbàdúrà àwọn ṣe sí látara ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ iṣẹ́ ìyá tẹ́ ń ṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn àtúnṣe tẹ́ ń ṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ fìsínà tẹ́ ń dí ẹ̀ rí wọn wọ́n wá tó bá wá ní lápẹ́jọ́ tó dúró yẹ ẹni kó bọ́ sí bíbá àdúrà ní lápẹ́jọ́ this person have never seen you and your ọmọ alákọ̀ náà àwọn take stock àwọn ọ̀pọ̀ ara yìí àwọn pàdó àwọn ṣe sí good will message wọ́n fi ránṣẹ́ sí ara yìí ni wọ́n ṣe ìjọba wà pẹ̀lú. Whoever does not feel that in his heart is not one of them. This is what the Prophet said. So Hujjat and those of us who are also own Hujjat and the potential ones, it is a responsibility that we all owe to ourselves to salvage our situation and not to live the dynasty of poverty and suffering and subjugation for our children to come after us. Because I need to tell people, whether you like it or not, if you so 30 things. Our body, àwọn tó jẹ́ bàbá tí wọ́n ní wọ́n gbé kalẹ̀. Ibi èso yẹn wá gbogbo dàgbà, ṣùgbọ́n iye èso ìyá ní àsìkò tí wọ́n bẹ́ ti ń pẹ́. Wọ́n gbé kalẹ̀. Igi kí ni igi àìlẹ́kọ̀ọ́? Níbi tí wọ́n ti ń fọ́ ọ̀nà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó yẹ kóró àwọn òsì ń bẹ̀. Nígbà tí kí ẹ bá máa gùn tán, àwọn nǹkan tó máa tí kí ẹ náà máa fi kalẹ̀. They are children that will replace those that have been subjugated, and it will go like that. That's why you look at the community, look at the community, whether the non-Muslims or even the Mushrikun, look at their dynasty. When somebody is at the top like that, from at the top, one of the more minor Muslims go what's there, or what you want to know, and they put a smile on the end. They are much no one accuse him of anything. How consider us. Only in that time for that is a go through. I'm a good through. In Allah, Allah, you are going to come hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. Allah will not change the situation. Now we find ourselves today unless we resolve inwardly from within ourselves as individuals and as a group that we want to change it. And that is when Allah will come to our rescue to change it. And it is possible Allah will change it because He said, وَحَقًّا عَلَيْنَا نَصْرُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. We have made it incredible upon ourselves to grant victories to the Muslim. وَلَا تَهِينُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. Don't grieve, don't be sorrowful. You shall overcome them if only you sincerely have conviction in Allah and stand by Allah. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب واستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Takbir. Takbir. Takbir once again. We sincerely appreciate our brother who has spoken to us in the last 1 hour with so much passion and interest. Those have only performed once in the lifetime. How did you feel before you went on Hajj? How did you feel when you were on Hajj? And when you came back from Hajj, how were you perceived in our respective places, either in your home, or in your office, or in your neighborhood? Are you seen as someone that just gone on Hajj and came back and all messages is lost? If you have lost all that you are supposed to give, all you are supposed to appreciate, all the teachings that people are supposed to imbibe by their closeness to you, by their affinity, by the examples, then what have you gained? Is there any encouragement for others to go on Hajj? It's not only by fulfilling the 5 pillars of Islam. Post-Hajj responsibilities and expectations. As Muslims, we are expected to live our life as if there is no tomorrow. Now we have gone on Hajj to round up our faith, so to say, fulfilling the last pillar of Islam. Are we contented with people referring to us as Alhaji and Alhajas? Are we in the society where we can hold our heads high and tell people what you are doing is wrong? Are we in the society where the Muslims cannot hold their heads high and say we are condemning this because it is wrong? Not only because it is wrong, because we are Muslims and we have to forbid what is bad and encourage what is good. Our society is undergoing so many turbulence. Which one have we reason to condemn? The current one is the Odua Gates. Human rights campaigning. Where are the Muslims? Where are the Muslims? Is it that we are in support of what is happening? or we do not have the mouth to speak. Then we have to forget. You should not forget. As Muslims, we should be in the forefront of condemning what is bad and encouraging what is good. Whether we like it or not, I told them the story of Rwanda as I just came back. Then on the second reflection, while the lecturer was talking to us, I said to myself, have you spoken to yourself? Did you just come back and in 1 week you will forget? What are you going to teach Nigerians? I tell you this, the same thing in Rwanda. I was speaking to one of their ministers. He has only one car, and I'm asking him why. He said even that car is 50-50 with government. Because he's a minister, they will give you 50% of the cost of the car, and you will contribute 50%. Anytime there is a state function, that's your car, you will use it to welcome visitors. That is why the state is contributing to it.
No armored car.
No armored car, no bulletproof. Most of us, when you open our gates, fleet of cars, what do we do with them? When we die, how many of these things are we going to go away with? It's a food for thought. We will continue to condemn those in leadership, but are we talking to ourselves? That is the message. After Hajj, what next? For those that have not gone, purify your intention. For those that have gone, redefine your intention. Nigeria can only be better if you and I change our style, our model, our attitude. Nigeria will be better if the Muslims live up to expectation. If we do not, we will just be part of them. And like he said on the day of Qiyamah, I thought we were doing Usrah together. It's not one of you, we were just attending. I thought we were praying Juma together. No, it's one of you, we were just attending. I thought we went on Hajj together. No, that was a clapping Hajj. In this same society, right now in Bakri, at Hajj, I was with him in Hajj in a particular year, and we sat between a man from India. You remember?
Yes.
He was around 70 years old. In India, they control how many people go on Hajj. In Nigeria, it's a jamboree. How many times have you gone on Hajj? That's what they were asking you. But there, the man was looking at us, and when he said, this is our second Hajj, I guess that time, was it second Hajj? You do it every year or what? He said this is his first Hajj, and he's been on the queue for about 7 years. They regulate it so well. Here, the allocation to government is so long, people that even want to go for the first time, there is no slot. If you want to go on Hajj next year in Lagos, 6 months to Hajj, form is closed. Meanwhile, in government, 3,000 forms is kept, political allocations. I met a Christian who told me he's gone on Hajj for 4 times. And I'm asking you, to do what? He said, I like it, why are you talking like this now? I'm a politician and they gave it to me. He never became a Muslim, he's still a Christian. Yeah, they dashed him Hajj 4 times. In fact, the 5th one, he said he also dashed someone else. It's true. That's what we do in Nigeria. Local government chairman will give Godfather, Godfather will give Godson, Godson will give family. So it's like that. When are we going to change? That is even a program for the Muslims. When are we going to change? I guess it's a food for thought for all of us. We will entertain questions if there are any before we break for lunch. Yeah, we will limit it. If you have any question to ask, just raise up your hand.
Mine is a question and a poster for the companion. When the lecturer was rounding up, he stressed the importance of unity. And for those of us who have been to Hajj, he said it's a universal brotherhood. If that is the case, I want to ask, what are we doing about unity among the Muslims in Nigeria and Lagos State as a case study? Are we really unifying the Muslims, or are we dividing the Muslims further? Because I know that the companion used to be at the helm of unification. And I remember the issue of wealth, trying to bring Muslim societies together to establish a welfare programs for the Muslims. But at the end of the day, the companion is having his own Zakat foundation again. And I ask, if we are fragmenting, how can we be strong as a community? Then what are we doing? We had Muslim, which is supposed to take care of the interests of Muslims in southwest Nigeria. And about 2 weeks ago, we were told that a forum is also looking at bringing Muslims in Lagos State together. What is the position of Muslim in this activity? Because there is the need for us to act with unison. If we don't, we will not be able to achieve our objective. What is the TMC doing in uniting the Muslims in Lagos State? For example, we have to look at it even within the companion. Our children are already fragmenting. Some belong to the Dawn, some say they are Salafi, some are MSS. What are we doing to bring them together? Because we have to think and start thinking now, who is going to replace us in the companion? Who is going to replace us in the criterion? So this is food for thought. I want us to look at it critically. Thank you.
Of my Amira's question. She's my Amira. Directly for the lecturer. I know some 25 years ago, you are also a member of the Muslim Student Society. I want to be sure that the society there is not necessarily the same society that we call MSS today. What we have, the Yoruba says, then those of us there, they have become grandmas and grandpas. And it is only when we go back and see what we can do to make the way, that is the only way we can preach unity for our Muslims, for our children. I make bold to say that most of our children do not know what we really call unity among the Muslims. So the onus is on all of us. And I want to ask particularly that as a leader, a father, and perhaps a grandpa, what do you think you can do to contribute to the unity among the Muslims today?
Muslims. It's amazing because I read in Usrah, I can't remember the ayah I'm citing now, which Allah says to Prophet Adam that go to this earth now and become enemies to each other. I don't know whether you can explain further what that ayah really means. Because when I read the ayah and I thought about it, that why would Allah say you should go to this earth and become enemies? Is that why we have all these wars and fighting amongst each other? Because if you look critically at the Quran, everything that Allah says He wants us to do there, He also said it is by His will. If He does not will it, there's nothing we can do. Even if we try our utmost best to unite, if Allah does not want the unity to come about, it will not come about. But I think this unity amongst us is a test from Allah to see how well we are doing our job as Muslims. Are we really caring about ourselves? It's not only when people go to Hajj and come back and we start talking about it. Usually after this lecture, people go home and forget about it. But we all really need to go back home and think about it and see what we can do to our next door neighbor, to people whose shops are next to our home, whose offices circumstances are next to our own and try to be a better person to them. Perhaps maybe the unity will start from there. It's not just about preaching. Preaching is just talking. It's action. That's why Allah said in the Quran, you believe, but you have to do good, righteous things. It's not just about saying you believe, you believe. That righteous actions must accompany your belief. May Allah help us all. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much, my sister.
Has told us that ending the year and starting another one does not call for celebration, the period of sober reflection. So I just want to ask if one can organize a prayer, special prayer or national to round up the year and to start a new one.
With the weather experts, they have made a prediction that there's going to be a solar eclipse today. And the prediction indicated that that's going to happen around 11 today. And of course, it's also going to be partial in this part of Nigeria. What's supposed to be the take on this? Though we have not witnessed it, if it has happened, what a Muslim is supposed to do? Assalamu alaikum.
On the issue of unity, I just want to say my own opinion on it. I don't think there's disunity in Islam. First of all, we pray the same way all over the world, fast the same way during Ramadan, and from Hajj the same way. We pay zakat. Everything is done the same way in Islam. Everybody is free to have their own Islamic organizations, the Companion, Ansarudini, MSSNI, Muslimni, form whatever you want to form, but we all perform Islam the same way. And that's what Allah has prescribed it to us. So the issue of disunity is a different thing entirely. It depends on your own opinion and how you perceive it. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you.
My question now goes to one hadith that is frequently quoted by scholars, which I have not read, and I don't know the source. I have not read. Now, I want, if the guest speaker can tell us if he is conversant with the source and the authenticity of that hadith, and if truly it is what is expected to happen. There are these both dots that the Prophet ﷺ said, "Ikhtilafu ummati rahama." That division in my ummah is a blessing. How true?
Okay. Let me go back to the first question by our sister and what are we doing on unity in Nigeria. I can tell you that there are